Hello and welcome to another episode of How to Be a Movie Snob. We just watched the Oscars and we're reacting, folks. It's going to be a doozy. There's a lot going on. There's a lot we're going to talk about. Some upsets, some not so upsets, and then some of us are just upset.
That's right.
That's right. I wrote that myself, guys. Guys, my name's Seth, and I Nora, you wanted to get a different win here, but we got stuck with some of the other ones. But hey, it could have been worse. There could have been a lot more worse pictures that would have won. And it's a wicked shame that we just didn't get
Woo.
more to Dune later. But you know what? That's fine. Conan wasn't quite a barbarian. He just wasn't. Ben wasn't so still. Yeah, there was it was fine. There we go. That was my hot take, guys. And coming up next is Far Away.
It was punny, Seth.
Yeah,
It's pretty punny.
Thank you.
My name is Patrick, and my hot take is that I think I dislike more acceptance speeches than I like.
Oh yeah, you do. That's just a fact.
I think maybe there's a bunch of just mid, like I go, yep, good job. But often it's like, there's some good ones, and every now and again you're like,
Yeah.
I just don't want to hear from you,
No.
person. And I know this is your moment, but it's not my moment. I'm not having a good time. I think that's my hot take.
Oh, thank you for Kieran, is all we can say. Thank you for Kieran. All done? Oh, okay. You're all done.
Yes.
Okay, Mariah.
I'm
Hot
Mariah. And my hot take is alliteration this evening.
Oh.
It is sorry, but sex, swearing sold this year. Sex and swearing sold this year.
Wow, it's true. It sells every year, but this year it felt a little heavy. So
And slapstick, I guess. Slappy stick, swearing, and sex
that's true.
was the right combo.
Teddy, you want to say hi? Guys, we have a special guest star. Teddy, say hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Teddy.
Say Oscars
August.
are so-so.
That's all.
So
Okay.
Teddy's hot take.
So that's Teddy's hot take.
He's
totally
not wrong.
His own idea. It wasn't mine.
Yeah.
Oh, Teddy doesn't like things on my head, so that Teddy,
Oops.
that wasn't sincere.
yeah.
I mean, he doesn't want to hear me anyway.
Sorry about that.
So we'll talk a little bit here. So our hot takes, of course, are giving away a lot, but let's go through the show and kind of take it step by step. So let's do a little quick magic here. And we're back. Look at the magic. Whoa. Let's go through our highs and lows of the Oscars. Mariah, give us your highs of the Oscars.
The highs.
And don't just pick the people who were high, and we're not going to point them out.
No.
Kieran.
You could.
Highs. Well, I was happy that Flo won animated.
Lame.
Thought it was great. Finn and I were very excited that our pick was the winner.
How are we not going to go into the animated and just be like, that is the worst decision ever? That dog was barely a creature.
Yeah.
Barely a creature.
It was, yeah. I'll get into that when we get to
Cutest
the
yellow
lows.
blob I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Blob.
Yeah, I feel like the
Blob.
actors and actresses, supporting and lead, were good choices. I was all for it.
All right, before we get into that, what about the actual show? The actual
Oh,
show.
the show.
Actually, the show.
Yeah, Conan is a better writer than he is standing up there. Because, man, it was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so cheesy.
I thought he was better in the between than he was for the monologue. His
Yeah.
in between, because it's quick. You're right. Like the jokes were good. They
Yeah.
just didn't flow on. It just got boring in the beginning.
And then the whole Carla Sofia Gaston
That was
part,
baller.
you're like,
Oh, that was baller. That was my Ricky Gervais
I
moment.
felt like it was over her head enough that, she was like, what did he say?
I know, it's kind of too bad.
Yeah.
I wish she got yeah.
I gasped at the Kendrick Lamar halftime.
Those
joke.
are my two favorites.
So I would say a highlight to
Pat,
me.
do you want to go next?
Yeah.
Please.
Well, I'm just going to jump in. Because we're talking about Conan.
Yeah.
And I
Let's
think
start at the very
it's
beginning.
it's a mixed bag, but also felt like it was an episode of Late Night.
Yeah.
In that he had random skits, and some of them are good and some of them are dumb.
Yep.
And when they work, they're amazing. And I just kind of liked how it was like, I'm going to do what I want with this format in a way.
Sure.
And you
so
still felt
that
safe, though. You still felt like it's still Conan. I know what to expect.
Mostly safe. You kind of felt like maybe Adam Sandler already drank too much that night because he was so loud.
Oh, yeah, really?
A little over the top. But it was funny. Chalamet.
Oh,
that's
my gosh,
good.
That was rough.
Yeah.
Rough.
A call back to
Chalamet.
Not SAGs, one of the other awards shows, I believe.
I thought it was SNL.
Nikki Glazer had a joke that Chalamet is like something Adam Sandler would say.
Yeah, Chalamet.
And then that was very meta. Very meta.
And then also a little bit of a, supporting Ukraine situation.
A little bit,
there.
yeah. Not like really. A Norris
but so
won,
like,
Russian oligarch. What are you gonna do?
In the one thing you'll hear me say negatively about Dune, the sandworm bit didn't totally do it for me.
No.
I hate to say this, but that doesn't actually reflect anything about Dune. That just is a weird bit. It was classic kooky Conan. Like that's your classic.
Yes,
like
that's
it felt like he's about to pull the lever and Chuck Norris and
he didn't blow us away. I mean, it was like, this is standard Conan, and that's what you get.
Man, he had Ricky Gervais moments like the Kendrick Lamar, like the publicist for a guest song. Like there was these moments I'm like, oh, he's gonna bring it. And he's back to sounding goofy, kind of with the long pause sort of thing. So.
I honestly don't always love that. I know Kristen Bell tried really hard to be just kind of nice generally at like the SAG Awards.
Yes.
And it's like pleasant, but also then the speeches kind of pull me back into like, some of these people need to be taken in a bag or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like sometimes. I wish I didn't feel like that. But every now and again you're like, all right.
I did like the whole bit with Conan's head being the wizard, like the hair.
Oh, that was great.
That was fun. Like I did like this show busy piece of that. Like
although they did a
good
was
production.
a little rough. That was a little harsh. It was also not fair. You come up with the Wicked duo killing it.
Another highlight.
But if they're comparing him to Jeff Goldblum, then that's fine.
Not too bad. Yeah, it's not bad. Not too
he
bad.
didn't have to be a good singer.
Yeah.
Let's get into
first of all, can I go for a highlight first, Pat? For just crying out loud.
It's got to be about Conan.
It's got
or otherwise you're changing topics.
It's Culkin. You got to go Kieran Culkin.
You eat your oatmeal, Seth.
This is literally what I thought when I was watching the show. I'm like, okay, mediocre monologue. Okay, Conan. Okay, it's fine. And then Kieran came up. I'm like, oh, well, that was the best moment of the night. I can probably turn off the Oscars because there's nothing that's going to compare to that. He's so comfortable, and it was so like meta having RDJ announce
literally
him.
call it out.
Because they were like the same sort of acceptance. You don't know what they're going to say, but you know it's going to be funny, and you know they're going to be comfortable, and it's just great. It was just because this is only the second one he's accepted. He's won like 5 times, but that's only the second one he accepted. So he's only had 2 acceptance speeches, I think. Because the other one was Jesse Eisenberg giving an acceptance speech for him.
Oh, that's right.
So like that's why it's like both times were hilarious and just like irreverent and is perfect and cared more about his wife. It's just great. Just so that's what awards speeches should be. You should have some young kid who's terrified and then some old actor who's like, whatever, y'all dumb. This is crazy, but this guy's an idiot. I love you. I'm out. Like that's perfect. Yeah. It's just perfect. So no, that was a highlight and also kind of a bummer because I knew it wasn't going to get any better speeches than that. And Adrian Brody was too long, which is hilarious because that's exactly what he made fun of the last time Kieran Culkin spoke. Adrian Brody looking at you. So funny.
Yeah. And well, so Kieran Culkin, it was very charming. I started getting uncomfortable with like, you now have to have another baby.
Oh, it was great.
Kind of talk. She seemed like she was very into it.
It wasn't. Yeah,
but
it
like,
wasn't awkward though. Yeah,
but there's a version where
I feel like a year ago when he did that speech and was
like
when he called her out, that was weirder. This was like, oh, this is funny because she told me the same thing in the parking lot.
Yeah. If you win an Oscar, that's pretty cool.
I would say generally I liked it a great deal, but I had a slight tinge of like, is she okay? Is this fine?
No.
Everyone's expecting her to do it tonight. Ooh.
Well, so another highlight, which we already mentioned, like Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande opening.
Yeah.
And kind of the weird, it's very telling, I think, of this lineup of original songs, because we've had a run of like everyone performs their original songs.
And that's
Not
what
this year.
That's what I was expecting. And none of that
But
happened.
two of the songs aren't songs, so they were like, how do we do it?
Well, and to have Zoe get up there, like she'd need tables to jump on, and it was more of a dance than a song in a lot of ways.
It's almost like it shouldn't have won Best Song. You know what I mean?
It's almost like
like
of
it
the
shouldn't have won Best Song.
two from that movie that were nominated, I preferred that one.
Sure. That's a low bar. That's a low bar.
Barely.
I'm just trying to silver line that one.
Oh, that's so rough.
But no, like the thing I felt bad about actually, because Ariana did Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and then Cynthia Erivo did a song from The Wiz. And I do not know the songs from The Wiz very well.
Bro, it is the
so
best.
I didn't recognize
you gotta watch
it.
The Wiz. Oh my goodness, it is.
You don't have to. Pat.
No, you do. No, we need to have a different podcast.
It's a doozy.
And it includes movies, all the blaxploitation movies, including The Wiz.
Yeah.
Every Shaft we gotta go through. Yeah, all of them. They're so good, so freaking good.
But I felt bad, like, I didn't get the whole thing that we're journeying through The Wizard of Oz musically. So I'm like, what's this song she's singing?
And then the Tin
so I felt
Man
dumb.
chopped up the guards. Oh no, we're not doing the book. Okay, cool, we're fine, we're good, we're good. And there's sexual orgies. Oh no, we're not doing that book either. Okay, cool, we're just doing the movies. Just doing the movies.
Yeah.
But
no, they were great.
My other hot take was gonna be like, man, they sounded way better at the Oscars than they did in the movies.
No,
that was the other one. I was like,
both
I still like some live performances.
Yeah, me too. They don't need to be in the movie though. Jeez
it's all
Louise.
context based.
Oh my gosh, that's.
But yeah, they were great.
Funny.
It was good.
Yeah.
John Lithgow disappointed.
No,
great bit.
He's so good.
The disapproving
Yeah.
John Lithgow. He's so good.
I wish they really did cut to him during some of the other speeches. Also, the bit of like the younger, seeing young awkward pictures of actors is fun.
That was cute. Yep, agreed.
Especially Conan. The self-deprecation he does, I think, adds up some goodwill.
Oh yeah, his haircut was amazing.
I did not. I thought the bit with Demi Moore's body was hilarious. I thought that was great.
Oh yeah,
like that's a great.
The actual opening was great.
Except that we had our kids with us, and we were like, "Oh, this is really weird." At the beginning of the show, like maybe we can't watch the Oscars.
Allowed to watch this? Like she's in the movie, she's naked the whole time.
He's crawling out of her body.
Yeah, no, that was
it.
Good. I did enjoy that.
It was funny.
I lost my keys. Yeah, so
Ben Stiller's presentation
was
great. Funny.
It was great. Because we didn't have Will Ferrell, so I was like, "Who's gonna be funny?" I'm like, "Oh, way to go, Ben Stiller!" It's like it's that perfect mix of like it was the Steve Carell, Will Ferrell makeup one. It's the same like good bit of like how silly, but yeah, he still nailed it. He's still fully committed to it. So yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was it. Okay, we're good.
No, there's a bunch of other good ones.
Just kidding.
Nick Offerman as the announcer.
voice.
I
Oh,
love.
I was
Mariah
so
picked that
happy.
up before I did. She's like, "Is that Nick Offerman?
Yeah.
Is he just like an uncredited voice on this?"
I was just delighted.
And then they finally cut to him.
Yeah.
We're like, there
yeah,
we go.
that was so
That's
good.
Well,
a good bit.
And having him mispronounce Amy Poehler's name was
Perfect.
very funny to me.
Yep.
She was great. She had like a dad joke that kind of went over everyone's head, which you could tell she was like, "Wait, come on, everybody!" Like,
Yeah, come on.
Like, ah,
This isn't the Golden Globes.
But
You're not
she was
that
great.
wasted yet. Come on now.
what did you guys think of the 007 thing?
What, the
Bond?
joke?
No, the whole like celebrating Bond, and they had the three singers, Doja Cat and a couple other people I didn't know sing some of the songs.
I was confused
It
why
was,
they
like,
didn't have like Adele
weird.
sing her own song.
yeah.
Wow.
I think they chose nobody gets to do it if we're
I
not
think
having
'cause-
the actual people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because you could have had Billie Eilish and
Yeah.
Adele, and then I don't maybe Sam Smith or something, more recent ones. But
Right.
You couldn't have had Paul McCartney get up there and sing.
You probably could.
He would have sang "Live and Let Die." I'm sure.
That'd been dope.
Oh,
that brought the house down.
but yeah, and like Margaret Qualley being like the opening dancer of it was just kind of confusing, and she did great.
'Cause
But
she's
I'm
a
like,
dancer.
Is she
Oh
gonna?
my
But
goodness,
is she
she's a
gonna
dancer.
maybe be a Bond girl in the next?
I
movie?
think it has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
maybe
they-
the
I think
songs
it was
didn't.
just-
But maybe her being there meant. You never know. She's the
Who
right.
knows?
Yeah. That's.
But there's a little weirdness, and then of course because Amazon has the rights to it now, it kind of feels
that's more
weird.
like it. Yep.
And so it's all like, what's happening? Because there'd be like, there's so much good stuff. I should have loved that section.
Yeah. That's what
And
I
it
was
was like,
kind of hoping. I was like, I get
it was
why
fine.
they're doing it. I just was odd. They were all just strange
I've just seen
choices.
better tributes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Or like maybe bring out the new 007. Maybe have Daniel Craig
That's-
do something. Maybe, like
Yeah. Yeah. Daniel
all the
Craig,
living Bonds come out.
yeah,
you know?
that would have been cool.
Of course, Daniel Craig was like, "You guys didn't give me a nomination for my movie this year, so whatever, guys, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm out."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that one was like kind of. I wished I liked it, and I just wasn't
Yeah.
that good. Also, the thing I loved, and I kind of made me go, "Oh, I wish all Oscars would just do this now forever." Is having for like production design, they did it, and costume design. They had actors from each
That
of the
was
movies
dope.
come out
That was
and
dope.
talk about it, and it had the Bowen Yang bit made it also
Great,
just
yeah.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Guys,
I thought we were dressing.
Yeah.
That was
That I thought was so great because it added like a personal touch
Yeah.
to these people and made them, I think, elevated them in a way it felt like they deserved.
right.
I liked that a ton.
And it wasn't showboating that there were people that were recognizable, but I think it made it so that you're like, this is who you saw in the movie dressed by this person, or, I feel like it gave them a little bit more recognition or.
Yeah.
But they're not. They're
Also
just
helped me. I think it's production design. Dave Bautista is like, well, you won this last year. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. He didn't win this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that great. That format was awesome. Like,
So
giving connecting us to more pieces, the actors in these things. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Because really, unless whoever wins those categories, unless you really know them or they just have a great speech or story in their acceptance speech, you're just like, next.
For sure.
Like, okay, I just want to know who won. I don't need to hear
No.
or see them.
Unless you're funny, we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
This way, it's not just up to their speech to make
Yeah.
it worth our while.
Yeah. They should do like
The
a
Andrew
cinematography
Garfield.
version of that, by the way. They should each cinematographer gets like a quarter of the Oscars. So like
Yes.
that'd be so dope. Like it's on a shaky cam. It's like that for,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Heck yeah, that'd be great.
Now we're talking.
This portion is going to be filmed by
John Woo. Yeah. Wong Kar-wai. It's 17 hours long. It makes no sense, Wong.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm just gonna film, and if you're ready,
whatever
to do
happens.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Megalopolis,
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola maybe is more closer to Wong Kar-wai than we'd like to admit.
He said he's happily going to accept his Razzie this year.
Oh,
for,
good.
I think a couple
In person.
categories.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, it's his life work. That's the crazy part about it. Here's
And
the
he's
thing.
like, you take risks. You got to deal with it.
One of the reviews, I can't believe we're going this. I was trying to figure out how to watch this movie because you just can't watch it anywhere right now. Was like, this movie, I'm gonna curse, guys. We can say one curse word before we have to change the rating, I think. This movie is so
We only get one.
We only get one. This movie is so batshit crazy that there's no way any production company is going to touch it. So good for him for being such an auteur that there is no obvious money in this. So way to go, buddy.
Yeah. He just spent a bunch
Way
of
to
his own money
stick to-
doing something
Oh.
weird.
If it weren't for that wine, this would never have been possible. So,
Oh, yeah. He's got a winery.
so
Yeah.
darn you, wine. No, just kidding.
Yeah. No, anyway, good for him. The other one I was going to say was like both sweet and awkward was Andrew Garfield talking to Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
you're making it seem like she's older. I don't know. Something it just felt like this should have been like a private conversation.
I was,
but it's
waiting
also
for her to
really
say,
sweet.
I'm not dead yet. Leave me alone.
Yeah,
Andrew,
yeah.
And we can still hook up.
But then the whole,
Yeah.
but then the whole like,
But it felt really genuine.
I'm kind of blind. It's hard for me to see. And then everybody like ran with it the next day. Like she just, disclosed a health problem that she
Oh,
has.
yeah,
and I was like,
it's-
I don't think that's what she was doing.
I don't think so.
Well, and
okay.
she read the second half of what she had to read off the telephone. So she wasn't that
So
bad.
maybe she does have problems. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
funny.
But no, I think those, as far as the event, that was, I think, all the stuff that stood out to me.
What about Meg and Billy?
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That was
That's
fun.
fine.
They did fine.
It's fine.
He
It's
did.
hard.
I was happy to
he
see
referenced
him.
It's
something.
hard because Billy Crystal's
Cristobal.
arguably one of the best, if not the best, Oscar host of all time. He's hosted it so many times, and he's predictable. He's funny, and he sings, and it's always so good when Billy Crystal did it. So seeing Billy Crystal at the Oscars, like, oh yeah,
This feels good. This
was
feels
good.
safe.
but it wasn't like Billy Crystal.
Well, Conan shouted him out,
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it was very understated.
Yeah.
But it was nice. It wasn't as fun as like Twins or the Batman stuff.
That
you
was
know.
so good. Yeah, that was
But
would have been
it was
better.
nice.
I
I haven't seen Meg Ryan in a while, so I thought that was
Yeah.
nice.
She was on that Super Bowl commercial. You obviously didn't watch the Super Bowl, Pat.
I did. I didn't catch
okay.
all the commercials. I guess.
They're back in the deli in
Yeah.
in the commercial. They're both in it.
I believe they're selling mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise,
in a
yeah.
special kind of way.
right,
like it's not
right,
quite
right.
Okay. Highlights, lowlights. What are your lowlights for the movie, for the Oscars?
A personal low light is that I could not, as I voted, I guessed so much
Oh yeah.
because I was not able to see so much of this stuff. Right? You kind of feel overwhelmed by like the shorts and the documentaries and foreign films. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guessed okay.
I got to see
But
one from each of those categories, so it was like I kind of had one that I
That's pretty good.
just saw. So I was like, okay, well, this is what I want for documentary short. This is what I want for. I did see two. What did I see two of? Oh, I saw one live action short,
And two animated shorts, right?
two animated shorts.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Is this
So
where
I got like a something. I got a piece of almost
There we go.
everything.
Is this
Yeah,
where I get to
taste.
start ranting about how dumb the Oscars are, and that the fact that you have to pick movies that are actually of the year, not just at the end of the year? I still can't stand the Oscars. Is so broken
Yeah.
that it's not something for
The recency
people.
bias.
I
No,
just really
no,
wanted to
not
get to have the
recency.
opportunity to see,
Yes.
or pay $20 for something and then find out 2 days later that now you can watch it,
Well-
or
Oh, right.
like that was frustrating too.
There's
I'm like, I want my
recency
money
bias,
back.
but there's also not able to watch it bias.
Yeah.
This is
Yes.
what ticks me off. No, if it was in November, that's fine. You put all these movies out in November Thanksgiving weekend. Now, there's not going to be a space in the theaters for them because actually people want to watch movies that they want to watch, not Oscar contenders, which is the other problem. Why can't it just be a good movie that maybe people actually want to see sometimes? So, yeah, no, I get so angry. I feel like it needs to be a minimum of 3
Well, they gave you
months
multiple holiday
release.
movies last
It needs
year.
to be streaming by the time the Oscars are on. Like, that needs to be a rule. By January 31st, it needs to be streaming or rentable somewhere.
Yeah.
That is, it
Right.
is
Well, and I'm Still
obscene.
Here was such a good movie.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix
And-
did such a good job in that movie. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I was like, he could really
No.
be a rap guy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Is that no? We're talking
No,
about?
no,
Okay,
no,
sorry,
not this
sorry.
year.
My fault.
Not this year.
Okay, I got to do some research. Hold on.
But I mean, I knew it was a shoe-in for best foreign film, and it won that. But you know, I thought she'd be great for best actress. But it's like, who saw it? Like, even the people voting, how much access did
Half the
everybody
cast
have?
didn't even see it. I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Well, I mean, they got
Brazil's
sent
still mad.
screeners because that's how this works. But
Time
it doesn't mean
frame.
they watched it.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kimberly and I wanted to go try and watch that. I would have had to go like an hour to watch.
Yeah, I had to go to a random
movie.
place in Corvallis.
I would have to have not picked up my kids that day.
Yeah.
Oh, you went and saw it in Corvallis?
Yeah, the Dark Side Theater. I'm jealous. I wanted to go with her.
In the sketchy
Wow.
theater, you had to
But-
go up a couple flights of stairs, and
It was
it
literally
was
like
so weird.
I
But
got to pick
Good
up
for you,
Teddy,
man.
or I got to go watch this movie. So I
it was
You
didn't
chose
choose.
your child.
I didn't
was
choose
great.
my child, but my
It
wife
was
told
great.
me I needed to.
But yeah, so I mean,
worth leaving my family for.
My peak looks like a
you
peak,
made
doesn't it?
quite the effort. We were unwilling to make that much of an effort. But like it's like I live in the Seattle area. This should be
Why-
it should-
yeah,
I
why
should have
couldn't
access
you?
to all the
That's
movies.
You
crazy.
probably would have had to be in Seattle though, right? Which would have made that.
There was
drive
like
that hour.
one theater that showed it like one time during
Yes.
the day.
Yes, that was the same as us. Salem Cinema showed it once, I think, or like 2 days in a row or something.
Yeah,
And they were
not-
both days we couldn't. Like it
2
started
o'clock.
at noon on a Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
We're like, well, Seth's not gonna make that.
Making videos, folks. Making videos. And then on the other one was like
Yeah.
at 2 o'clock on a weekday. I'm like, that ain't gonna
Yeah.
happen. So yeah.
But I think
no.
that's this weird thing where, to your point, Seth, like even if I'm like, oh, I didn't get a chance to watch it before the Oscars, I can't watch most of these things after the Oscars. The best documentary, you can't watch it in the U.S. I don't think there's no distributors for that documentary.
Well, another thing too I noticed was
That's
like, you know,
crazy.
you signed up for that movie thing to watch
Yeah.
The Substance, and then I realized a couple of the shorts were on there, but then I didn't realize till after that
Right.
week-long subscription thing was over. I'm like, well, I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to pay for it.
No one
It's
wants
like,
I'm gonna
had I
pay
like,
for
why didn't-
movie
like
or
maybe
whatever
I
this
should have
thing is.
tried harder to be like, where's the Oscar section in this site? Because
Yeah.
like, there's no other way.
it just makes
no,
me
I don't know.
makes me so
I mean, it's
angry.
tricky because who's going to movie theaters to watch documentaries?
Nobody.
Basically, nobody.
Us.
And so
People like
where
us.
then?
When we have time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean
You know,
Baker's
streamers got to pick it up.
Sean Baker's speech was not wrong. Like Sean Baker's speech was all about, hey, we gotta get people in theaters, go to theaters, and then I want to be like, well, if you show your movie more than 2 seconds before the Oscars, maybe I go see it in theaters.
Yeah, Anora would have been really fun to see in the theater, like the whole driving around.
Really uncomfortable.
Well, sure, there's
You
that
know-
piece of it, but the
Hopefully you're not
hangover,
seeing it
the
close to
hangover
everybody.
part, I think would have been really fun.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. It's
I guess kind of a highlight. The fact that not necessarily that he won so many times, but that he got to like have that speech because he'd already won so many times was at least interesting. Like, oh, I've already been able to thank people, and I already kind of crapped on my own award I got later by being like, you know, you should have seen the footage. This is saved in the edit. I know that was funny. But then, like, he's like, "Oh, okay, my third time up here or whatever. I'll do this rant about going to the movie theater."
Don't we
So
take
it's nice.
this
It's a nice
opportunity?
result, but it was weird. He has more Oscars than a great many fantastic.
Deserving.
Sean Baker does?
Yes.
Because he won
Just because of this week?
this week. 'Cause he's got
What
2.
else did he win? 4.
He won directing, editing, screenplay.
Whoa! I forgot he edited it.
So
too.
he has 3 Oscars.
All right, and Mikey
I don't
won
think
one
Martin
too.
Scorsese. I don't know that Martin Scorsese has 3 Oscars. You know, like
Dang.
there's like a weird thing there where it's like he just steamrolled it. And again, you know, that's what he gets for doing all the work. But it's kind of this wild thing where you're like, whoa,
That's crazy.
Ralph Fiennes or Ray Fiennes doesn't have an Oscar. You
he
know?
did what I did. He called him Ralph.
Yeah.
You
Well,
just
they
said
did.
Well,
Conan.
'cause he
You
didn't-
did the
They made
Conan
He didn't
line.
win. Yeah.
Good one.
That's
Yeah,
good
he
one.
didn't win. So
Aw.
Okay, which again, there was that news story that like all the voters are like, oh, we thought he won already, and so that's why they didn't vote for him. Like that's the crazy
Yeah.
thing about it.
We're just so exhausted of this guy winning.
Okay, this is my surprise after going through all this Oscar stuff. The movie that I came back and thought it was a lot better after watching all the other movies was Conclave. After watching all these other movies, I thought Conclave was really darn good because PG, no sex, boring topic,
Yeah.
probably the most interesting movie on
Making
the
a topic
Super
that boring.
riveting.
Super
Yeah.
riveting.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a movie that literally has
tough
sex,
ending.
naked people half the movie, less interesting. Less interesting.
I don't,
Because it's
Are
The
you talking about
Hangover.
Nora?
I'm talking about Nora. Because like,
yeah, I know.
because
I
once they start
disagree
chasing him a little
maybe.
bit, but not much. Like every moment of Conclave, you're like, oh, this is like, there's just 2 people in a room.
Like,
talking.
Conclave is like a thriller, you know, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
with a bunch of
Honora
old
is
guys
not a
talking in
thriller.
rooms.
Yeah, but it's still
there's-
you know,
there's still
suspenseful,
questions.
right?
Thrill
It's
to
an
watch The Hangover.
investigation.
When you're watching The Hangover, it's a thrill. And you know what? Throw a couple
Different
Russian
things.
oligarchs in there. Thrill.
I mean, you know, I'm I guess happy Honora won over like The Brutalist.
Yeah, I agreed.
Okay,
Okay,
I had a problem this year with movies that I thought were based off real things not being based off real things. It has the
Conclave is one of them,
veneer
actually, yeah.
Well, it might
of
be
a
now.
true story, and you're like,
Oh, jeez.
but this didn't happen.
Yeah.
And it really bothered me.
Brutalist was
Really bothered
Why?
me.
The Brutalist is the Brutalist and Amelia Perez were my 2 why. What are we doing here? Like, why do you need 3.5 hours of a fictional story? Like, this isn't Schindler's List. This isn't a real thing. Most of the people who were in that archaeological space are closer tied to Nazis than they were actual any sort of oppressed person during World War II. So it's like,
Are you talking about architectural?
Architectural.
I think
Yeah.
I think
There's
you
a
said
whole-
archaeological.
I probably did say archaeological. I was doing some dinosaurs earlier.
I would say that
Yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah.
I would say that
Paleontology.
the members of the Bauhaus weren't,
No, but
and that's what he was.
but the members of the people who the architects who they base the character off of.
Sure.
So that's where it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
this is awkward. Anyways, a whole
I think-
thing about that too. But
Well, even the building. I mean, we'll get into the Brutalist maybe
Yes.
someday. But like
I don't want to.
the drama around,
We watched it. I don't even want to talk about it.
yeah, the story of basically like the building that it's kind of based off of, or like kind of no drama about it. It
Yeah.
was like one strongly worded letter, you know, was written, and otherwise it was fine.
Yeah,
They're
there.
like,
Yeah, that's
well,
fair.
let's make this controversial and add an hour and a half longer than we need to it.
Okay, guys, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a
That
Top-
being said, I liked the first half of that movie.
the realist.
Could have done without the
I liked it
second half.
more. I liked it more in the second half. Although I really liked Felicity Jones.
Yeah,
I think
she
did
doesn't
good.
second
show
half
up till
she's shown
second
through.
half.
First half I was like,
That's true. Well, I guess the first half set me up to go, I think I'm really going to like this. I think I can handle 3.5 hours. And then I was like, oh, that's not where I
Yeah,
wanted it
I
to
agree.
go.
It took me there.
I have a little admission about the Brutalist. I did fall asleep for about 3 minutes, and those
Okay.
3 minutes, a pretty pivotal thing happened. So when
in Italy?
so when the wife came in and yelled at him,
He was like, wait,
Spoilers.
what?
I was like, what is she talking about? Like, what on earth is she? And so Jared, who I was watching with, is like, bro, did you miss the rape scene? I'm like, I guess I did. Like, cause so that whole scene, I was like, this is really
That
good
doesn't make-
acting, and this is
doesn't
intense.
make a lot of sense.
But what is she talking about? I'm like,
Boy,
I
did
literally
she have
thought,
another one of those dreams
I
again?
thought I'm like,
oh my
I'm like,
goodness.
don't you mean the son with your niece? Like I was like, no, he's the rapey one, not the. Oh, everyone's the rapey one. Oh, okay. Now that was a fun little like. I'm like,
Yeah,
I had
speaking
no
of
idea.
that,
Oh gosh.
we should. This
should
is
go
not
now.
going to become a
No.
brutalist podcast.
Okay.
But
I want to do this real quick.
I do have
Pat's gonna say
lowlights.
something.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
No. Are we ready
lowlights.
for
I thought-
lowlights?
I've been.
I've
feel
been
like
saving.
I
Seth's
feel
been
like
only doing low
is our
lights.
lowlights only just because we're mad at the picks, or is our lowlights actually about parts of the show?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's mad at the picks. Generally.
Okay, because that's like different than lowlights. Lowlights is like Conan's pace in his opening monologue was a lowlight. You know what I mean? Or like everyone's speech except for Culkin. You know what I mean? Like that was another lowlight. But yeah, okay. So, yeah,
the singing. This is related to my low light. So El Mal winning best song. When you're like, there's like an Elton John, Brandy Carlisle song,
right?
And then shoot, I forget which one was it? There's one I like heard
From
in
the
this. I was like, oh,
The Journey from the 688. Terrible movie, great song.
yes,
It was a fine movie.
It was,
And it was based on a true story.
Hey,
but
hear
like,
that, brutalist?
yes, that song, great.
It was a great
Freaking
song.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was what I wanted to win. And you pick El Mal, and it's like, and then the weird French songwriter goes up and starts singing karaoke. It's so awkward. And I was just like, come on, guys. Like, literally, we opened the show with Wicked. And this is what is winning best song. It just feels like a slap in the face.
I said it once, and I'm going to say it again. We are still trying to be French movie watchers in America, and it ticks me off because we shouldn't
I think
try
they
to
were
be.
riding the whole.
I'm sick of cans. I'm
This
sick
is
of
the
this.
new
All this
formula
garbage.
for what could be a musical and could be this and could
Dear
be that.
Oscars, be an American movie award. Quit trying to be a French award. It's ticking me off. I'm TO'd.
I mean, if they were good, I
But they
wouldn't have a
weren't.
problem.
They're just trying to be Frenchy.
The Brazilians were good.
So bad. Okay.
And
So yeah,
not
no,
Frenchy.
that super bothered me. The other one, which Mariah already mentioned as a positive, is Flo winning best animation.
Yeah, I agree.
And here, there's nuance, and
Did you
maybe
watch
we'll do
all
an
5,
animated
Patrick?
episode.
Did you
I
watch all
am
5?
still,
Oh, but the
Kimberly
snail.
and I have
The
still not
snail's hard
seen
to
the
find.
memoir of a snail.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I would have picked that one if it was okay to watch for children. But I
Right.
picked Flo.
Yeah, I'll still watch it, but
It's good.
having watched all the other ones, like Flo is an interesting cinematic exercise.
Mm-hmm.
But the category is called animated. And Flo
Here we go.
and
Here we
God
go.
bless Latvia, and it's their
Okay.
first Oscar.
That was kind of
And they do it. They made this movie basically on free software with like no people, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Godzilla, -1 kind of vibes in
It's
that.
both
like
blended.
scrappy.
well, I think we can all agree the dog was not good. I mean,
It is poorly
Poor, yeah.
animated.
even Finn says that the dog wasn't a good animation.
Yeah. And like the cat is tolerable.
and you know what he plays?
capybara hangs in there.
And they play nothing but Minecraft, and they know that the dog is bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad that I can't.
would,
And my kids were like, I think I liked it, but they're like, I don't know what that was. Again, speaking of Terrence Malick, it's like this is the Terrence Malick of animated movies.
Yeah.
It's
It was.
Whoa, Terrence Malick has good, like he's got some good cinematography. I mean,
Well,
recently it's kind of
cinematography.
questionable.
I would say the cinematography in the movie
yes,
was
really good,
And that's what
Like,
I
the
liked about it.
yes.
I wasn't critiquing the animation because I'm not an animator. And my child watched 4 of the 5 movies, the ones he could watch, and he still picked Flow. He picked it over the
Quick
talking
question.
ones,
Quick question.
the funny
Quick
ones.
question.
Last?
Which one did he watch last? Was it
Wallace
Flow?
and Gromit, I
Oh,
think.
dang it.
Oh, yeah. I think it's Seth.
Because
Okay.
we
Anyway.
did
I was like
we did
recency
Wild
bias.
Robot and
Recency
Yeah.
bias.
we did Wild Robot and Flow, I think, on the same day.
I'll tell you what Dottie likes. The last movie she saw every time.
Oh,
Does not
yeah.
matter what she picks. It's always the last movie
That's
she
sometimes
saw.
true for Finn, but no, he went back and said Flow was the
Did
best.
you guys
Did you-
watch John Mulaney's the Lunchtime Bunch or whatever like his little weird kids variety
Yeah.
show on Netflix? He did?
No.
It's weird and pretty good, but there's a segment where he's doing like feedback after watching like an animated feature with all these kids.
Oh,
And-
yes.
One of the girls is like, this is my personality now, this movie. And he's like, oh, last year you said that was your favorite movie. He's like, yeah, but now this is my favorite movie of
Yeah.
all time.
Yep.
He's like,
That's my
okay,
daughter.
great.
That's my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
It's good.
Yeah. So Pat, I know. Can I ask you what you wanted to win, or you have to watch Snail first?
I do need to watch Snail, but I put Wallace and Gromit is what I want.
I wanted Wild Robot.
Wild
most-
Robot was fine.
kinda. I liked it.
Wild Robot's cute,
Yeah, it's fine.
sweet. I honestly, if it won, I would have been like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
It was
Good for
pretty
them.
similar to like Ron's Gone Wrong kind of
Yeah, yeah.
storyline. But
Way
I still
better
liked
than
it.
Migration. Way better than Migration.
Didn't watch Migration.
Like,
Yeah.
I did. I'm not happy that I did. But it was fine. It was mediocrely entertaining. And you know why we go to theaters is so we can take Dahlia to the movies. That's the only reason we go to theaters nowadays. And that's depressing but true. Okay, I want to
yeah.
go through this list, the actual top rated movies of IMDb of
2024?
2024. Okay.
Okay.
So this is fun because this is like a little bit more real person kind of. It's IMDb, so whatever. Number 1. We're going to start at number 1. I'm Still Here.
Such a good
From
movie,
Brazil
guys.
with a score of 8.6 with 87,000 reviews, which is freaking
How does that many
impressive.
people get to
How
watch
the
that
heck
movie?
Did you get to see that? Next one.
Lies.
Number 2, Pat, you're going to love this one. What's number 2?
Dune Part 2?
Dune Part 2 with an 8.2 with 146,000 reviews. So that's
Well, those people had time.
Yep. Number 3, Anora, 7.7, a little bit of a drop there with a lot of
Wait, didn't you just skip one?
Oh, I sure did.
Because I just
Guess-
said it was so good, and
guess
now
which
he
one I
jumped
skipped?
right over it.
I skipped Wild Robot, which was number 3. And then it was
Wow.
Wild Robot got a lot of love, and it always has ever since it's come out. It's got a ton of love, and it's
It's
good.
lovely.
It is lovely.
It's cute. It's cute.
No Wallace and Gromit, but it's good. I feel it's like a question is like, do you like Wes Anderson or not? I feel like that's the question I'd be asking.
Well, or
'Cause,
how
like,
many
yeah.
animals can you fit in a movie that you like?
And how many
Charming
jokes?
little animals.
How many jokes can you make in 3 seconds? Wallace and Gromit will win every time. Every time.
tight.
Followed by Anora, which was 7.7 with 125,000 votes. Then followed by Sing Sing. So Sing Sing was number 5, which is
Want to watch that. We have
interesting.
not watched that
I
one
know
yet. Yeah, I haven't
because.
either.
And then finally, The Brutalist. And then we have The Count of Monte Cristo with 7.6.
I did see they
What?
remade that this year.
Right?
Now I'm kind of curious.
Then followed by
I think you can watch that one.
Ghostlight.
Don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah. I saw that on something.
yeah,
I,
and
and I don't know what that is either.
It's they do is when a construction worker unexpectedly joins a local theater's production of Romeo and Juliet, the drama on stage starts to mirror his own life. Looks pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
Which people never heard of. Then finally, Wicked. Yes. So what the number is that? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wicked made the top 10, and rounding out our top 10 list is Furiosa: A Mad Max Saga. just ahead of Conclave and Nosferatu. So there we go. And then The Substance,
Pretty fun.
and then His Three Daughters, and then A Real Pain, then Challengers. So it's interesting. Like they picked some movies that were top 10, but it's such the fact that Sing Sing didn't get nominated for Best Picture is kind of a bummer, and the fact that we haven't even heard of The Count of Monte Cristo or Ghostlight. Now there was only 5,000.
Heard of The Count of Monte Cristo?
Well, yeah, but it's Guy.
It's the Guy.
The Guy Pearce is the bad guy. Yeah.
Love.
By
that.
the way, Guy Pearce, have you
Jim
heard of
Caviezel.
Yeah.
It
Jim
was. Do
Caviezel.
you remember who the son is in Count of Monte Cristo?
Yes. 007.
No.
Not double.
No, it's
The
what's
other-
his name? The
the
terrible actor.
The lookalike of
The
007.
terrible actor. No, it's the Batman.
Well, I'm
Robin.
not gonna
He's
say
Robin. It's Robin.
No. It's Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Oh,
Superman.
it was 007.
Yeah, he is 007.
He's the new 007, Pat. In case you didn't know that.
I don't know if that's true. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure it's a thing.
Superman.
Yeah, like literally
Kind
when
of
I
getting old for 007.
he should have beat out Daniel Craig, frankly, but Daniel Craig was great, but he
Okay,
he was great.
on IMDb, I am seeing he's getting something,
Yeah,
but
like
this
that-
is going to be some weird Amazon version.
Well, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, but it's still he got the next one. The fact that you didn't know that.
He
is
auditioned
surprising.
for it
Right.
when Daniel Craig got it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we all know that.
okay,
He talks
interesting.
about that every time with The Witcher. We're all Witcher fans. Come on.
Yeah.
We were Witcher
Maybe
fans.
this is
Or
the
Witcher.
new
We
Witcher.
were Witcher fans. First 2 seasons, we were all Witcher fans. Then it really took a jump off there. So those are some fun ones. So disappointments. Of course, my disappointment is always the Oscars being dumb and not picking movies that are good. Other than that, no, I'm not saying these movies are bad. I just wish it would pick movies that didn't have to be Oscar-y and that were actually released during the year.
Yeah, I wish
That
we
is
could have just
always
seen
going to be
them.
my low light forever
Can we just
and ever.
see them all?
Because 20 years ago, you still had movies that were released at a normal time. That
I
everyone
would have
could watch.
even tried to watch The Apprentice. I wanted to see Jeremy Strong's performance. But no.
Yeah. Here's the question I kept. Fall Guy was like top 20. That's pretty fun. Imagine if the Fall Guy got nominated for an Oscar.
I mean, it's fun.
It's a great movie. Like that would almost like if you saw the Fall Guy nominated and instead of The Brutalist they did Civil War. Like I would be like, oh, do we care about what people think now? This is amazing. Not just like
I think so. I mean, it's maybe related to what you're talking about. So I do a movie day for my birthday every year in April, and I tend to try and watch movies that are supposed to be good. And this year, none of the movies I watched made any Oscar lists. One you could argue should have in Civil War.
Mhm.
Yep, agreed.
I just think
but I did.
I don't think you had a lot of good choices at the time.
2024 is tough here. We're coming out of the actors' strike, and
Yeah.
there's still some.
You
There's
had
a bunch of
stuff that
delays.
started 10 years before and stuff that
Yeah.
got pushed out real fast.
Yeah, nothing that even was out around that time even flirted with the Oscars, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. One year there will be something that came out in spring and makes the Oscars, but not this year.
That's great. Do you guys want the Rotten Tomatoes list?
Is it
Yeah.
different?
It's all 100%. Yeah, nothing close.
Oh, I see your fave.
Yeah, here we go. These are all the ones that got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes from 2024.
Got 100%,
100%.
Whoa.
which is already kind of a flaw.
Yeah, it's
thing.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Not enough people
No,
reviewed this.
It's
thing.
less.
But,
But
okay.
here we go. Here we go. Okay, the first one is All We Imagine as Lights, which
Okay.
I did hear that was good. I didn't see it, but I heard it was good. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, baby. Number 2, 100%. Nowhere Special.
Yes.
Another small movie. Girls Will Be Girls. On Becoming a Guinea Fowl. I've actually heard of that one. That was on the list I was, going to do.
Okay.
And Santosh. Santosh.
Well,
Those
there
are
you
the
go.
6 movies that made 100% in 2024. And the ones that made 98 and 99, Leroy, Texas, Ghostlight Again, Thelma, His Three Daughters,
I did watch that one.
Robot Dreams,
I liked it.
good one. The Crime Is Mine, Black Box Diaries, The Goldman Case, Aisha, Molly and Max in the Future, Lola, The Wild Robot, 96%. Nice job. Late Night with the Devil. Here we go, Pat. Sing Sing.
Yeah.
The Promised Land. Flo did get up there, Pat. Sorry, buddy. But Wallace and Gromit beat it. Heck yes.
And a movie called Hundreds of Beavers.
And Do Not Expect Too Much from the End of the World. Totem. The Last Stop in Yuma County. Crossing. Tiger Stripes. Needless to say, folks. Oh, here we go. Real Pain. Made it on there. There we go.
Hey.
Oh, this is the movie I want to see
really
more than
wanted
anyone.
Jesse to win.
Oh, yeah, that would been fun. The movie I really want to see is Didi. It's a Taiwanese movie that looked really pretty great, too.
Not about somebody you went to high school with.
No, not that Didi. Didi means...
A movie about him would be entertaining.
Yeah. Didi is like a younger brother. That's what Didi means in Chinese. So it's like, yeah, hey, Didi. What a Didi. Anyways, so there we go. So those are some crazy things. Oh, Rebel Ridge, 96%. Heck yeah, that movie's great. Oh, if Rebel Ridge would have gone, I'm still here, 97%. It's just so interesting.
Rebel Ridge being nominated for an Oscar would be
That'd
we'd be
be
living
dope.
quite the time.
Oh my gosh, because it wasn't like a huge hit, but it was just like a solid
it did
movie,
fine
front
on
to back.
Netflix.
Front to back, it was a solid movie.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Great movie. Yeah, it's not like
Memoir with Snails on there.
yeah. There we go. So there's just a lot of good movies that don't get the light. So it's so hard because we're literally at the whim of whatever the studio wants to promote. And this is what we'll say it. We'll say it again. This is not about the best movie of the year. This is about studios trying to beat other studios.
Trying to put their best
get exactly
chance
right.
at winning forward.
And trying to guess the feeling and the sway or the mindset of the Oscar voters rather than just trying to pick the best movie. I don't know how it would change this because the Oscars is also has the biggest numbers of professionals voting for movies, so that's a hard thing too.
And viewership.
And all that stuff. And it's the last one of the year, so but it's so crazy because like movies that won at the Golden Globes started to lose. Like I still am convinced Timothée Chalamet's speech at SAG was so weird. It's why he didn't win the Oscar.
Yeah, it wasn't very.
So I feel like stuff like that is more weighed in than actual acting / movies. So
And also them giving Demi Moore an award. They're kind of like, well, we gave her the award. We don't need to give her 2.
right. And I'm not. That's fine.
She got one.
She got a Golden Globe.
I think she
Her-
deserved one.
Her and Jim Carrey, they got their Golden Globes, and Jim Carrey's a better actor though. Sorry, Demi, you're still kind of our popcorn actress. That's a horror movie for crying out loud.
So it's a good horror movie.
It's a good horror movie. It's a great horror movie. It's great. It's great. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know, guys. It isn't like an awe-inspiring Oscars. We're like, yeah, movies. This is really why we're here. No, I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that. I was stoked. I did like Sean Baker's focus on movie making. I like that. I like Kieran Culkin being like, I just did what I did. Like, I don't see why it's a big deal. Like, no, whatever. I like the irreverence that at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of adults dressing up and playing pretend in front of the camera. Like, that's great to me. I love that, like, reality of what it is. And it's great that we get to have this moment to honor these movies. But I just wish that they would not... make it less French.
Can I ask you guys,
Quit trying to be cans.
if you had to pick a category or a nominee that you thought got hosed the most by not winning, and it has to be a nominated person. You can't just be like, "Oh, this should have been."
I actually had
Who do you think really lost it and deserved it?
Charles Melton. He should have got nominated.
Not
sorry.
Not-
We should have the Charles Melton
We're
Award.
not discussing May December. No.
The Charles Melton snub. The Charles Melton of this year was, I still think that the Charles Melton was, what's her name in The Substance? Was
Margaret Qualley.
Margaret Qualley. She's
But
this
like
year.
I said,
It's very good.
nominee.
Yeah.
Someone who was
Oh,
actually
actually
nominated
nominated.
and should have won.
You just give in to this Oscar. You know.
I want it. I'm just working with what we got here.
Who won film editing? Was it Honora?
Yes.
I didn't. Out of the ones on there, I didn't hate. Although I thought Conclave should have won editing, but it wasn't like bad. Like Honora was my second pick for editing because Conclave, to make that interesting, that was great editing. Just great editing.
It's
that
tight.
was tight. It's a tight picture. Production design, Wicked won, right? That was great. I'm glad it won.
That was one of those where I picked Dune, but any of them were great.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like there's some of them where you go,
Yeah.
it doesn't
All
matter
great.
to me.
It doesn't matter to me. Yeah. What about you, Mariah? Do you have one in mind?
I
Yeah.
wish Fernanda
Yeah, Mariah.
Torres would have got Best Actress.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
But you guys can't agree with me because you didn't watch it yet.
We didn't. Yeah. And
Yet.
No,
You're
I mean,
going
I
to.
honestly, as much grief as I gave Wicked
Mhm.
for singing live, I'd be hard pressed to be like Cynthia Erivo didn't do more than all these other people.
Mhm.
You ready for this?
Maybe she'll get it for 2.
I almost think because Cynthia Erivo was expected to be good, she didn't get the love. Meanwhile, Ariana Grande, we all thought she was just going to be awful, and she wasn't. So we're like, give her the nominations. I mean, did she get nominated for this one?
She got nominated
She
for
did.
supporting.
Yeah.
They both were nommed.
Oh, they both got nommed? Okay, so never mind then. But I thought, like, Ariana Grande's got so much more press than Cynthia Erivo just because it's like,
I just think nobody ever thought Cynthia was going to. It was just never. Nobody was ever saying they thought she would win. But Ariana
because she does
had
it
a
on
chance.
stage.
I
all the
thought
time.
Demi was going to win. That's what I picked to win, not what I wanted to win.
Yeah, same.
I asterisked Cynthia. I picked Demi, and I was wrong. I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad. Mikey won. I think that's the whole thing.
Yeah, I was fine with Mikey
It's just
winning.
the two.
Yeah.
Blow and El Mal were the only ones I was upset about. Everything else, I could be like, yeah, sure. I mean, Dune Part 2, of course, I still think is better than Honora as
For sure.
a movie
I agree
in
too. Yeah.
almost every way, probably.
Who won?
Unless you're just counting the amount of nudity one has over the other, which
Or
Honora is gonna
or
win.
F words.
F bombs, yeah.
Or F words,
Um,
or Russians. But
and we could. I want to whine about like, really, Zoe's not a lead role. Like that's the other thing is like,
Yeah.
It's that
I feel like she
conversation
deserved
every
an
year,
Oscar, but
every
why
year.
was it a supporting Oscar? Like,
because they can pick the category. Like there's no one more lead in that movie than Zoe. Like
right.
there's no one
it's
more
just
lead.
not called. It's just not her name. Her character's name
Just
on the
ridiculous
title.
You know, Timothy Chalamet's character isn't Dame Dune either. So you know what? See a supporting role. Yeah.
I think those are the. I think those are the only other ones really.
Yeah, my biggest snubs weren't even nominated. Like the ones I wanted weren't even nominated. So that's my biggest problem.
The other one, which not a huge deal, but I was a little bummed the Brutalist won original score. I thought I was rooting for Conclave.
Yeah.
I was thinking
I
Wild
thought-
Robot. I was hoping for Wild Robot.
Really?
I would even
That
get
was
Wild
good.
Robot.
That's fine, yeah.
I was confused how Wicked could even be nominated. I'm very confused about that
I
category.
felt like that was a weird thing. Like, did they just change enough of it that it? Because it's the
sounds
same.
kind of like the overture
Yeah.
from Wicked, but
It had
again, like the
different
Brutalist.
spaces.
Not a Brutalist podcast. I found the scoring in the Brutalist to be like off-putting,
Which is probably the
whereas in Conclave, I think Mariah, you may have mentioned this when you did. It was like a horror movie
best
score.
horror score.
But
in a
like,
non-horror
I'm
movie.
so down for that. Like,
Which is
I think
cool.
it
I mean, I love
enhanced
the
it.
sound in Dune too. I'm so glad they got sound because I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
I did like the Golden Globe winner for best soundtrack because it was Trent Reznor in The Challengers. But a lot of people were like, because it sounds like Nine Inch Nails soundtrack in a tennis movie, which is crazy. So that's
Trent Reznor scores a heck of a movie.
yeah. So anyways.
He's done a lot of David Fincher stuff. And it's
Yeah,
very
which that makes sense. Doing a tennis movie is kind of a little different, but anyways.
Well,
yeah.
So
What else?
all the 40 somethings were
Yeah.
excited.
Okay, you ready for this, guy?
But no, I
go ahead. Go for it, Pat.
was just gonna say I wasn't overly mad about too much.
Okay.
No, I wasn't either. But I wasn't overly like, yes, they totally deserved it. Or
We were already disappointed when we found out the nomination.
Yes,
So
we all
were-
came
yeah,
in
like,
deflated.
for sure.
Yeah,
Or even just the trend of all the awards leading up, right? You're
Yes.
sort of like,
just
well,
over it.
I'll be mad if some stuff wins, I guess, but
Yeah.
it didn't, and so I was fine.
Yeah.
And the Mickey Madison was very surprising. When she won Best Actress,
Mikey.
that was the
Mikey?
most
Mikey.
surprising. Mikey. Did I say Mickey?
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy, just speaking of little nice things, the fact that Quentin Tarantino gave that out, and Sean was able to be like, if you didn't cast her in, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I wouldn't have cast her in it. There's
that's
some
cool.
like fun
That's fun.
synergy,
Yeah, that's cool.
going on.
Okay. All the movies that you saw this year, whether it's on this list or not, what was your favorite movie of 2024? This is what it comes down to. What is your favorite movie of 2024? Okay, guys. I'll give you a little time. By the way, I'm wearing a Grouch shirt because that's what I felt like I was for this year at the Oscars. I was the Grouch.
It was a fit.
I was just like, ugh. I just want everybody to be unhappy.
Ooh.
Best movie of the year, 2024.
I mean, I might go with Dune Part 2, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I
It
like
was
that.
good. It was good.
Yep.
There's some good movies that came out this year. There's some fun movies. Speaking of movie day, I really did enjoy the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Guy Ritchie.
I did too. Great movie, but it
Like
wasn't-
that's just a fun.
It's hard.
It's just a fun movie.
You know the problem with Guy Ritchie movies? It's hard because you got to
That they're
compare
all
him
the
to.
same.
Well, you got to compare him to other Guy Ritchie movies. Like it's. How do you
Yeah.
compare that to Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? Like those movies are just so
He
good.
peaked so early in his career.
Oh, it's such a
crazy.
bummer.
Although the Sherlock Holmes movies I enjoy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
agreed. I like him a lot.
I think he only really made a misstep totally with Madonna, whatever that one was.
For sure. But the TV
Marriage.
that new show, the show that came out last year was great. I loved
The Gentleman.
The Gentleman.
Or something.
Thought that was great.
Yeah, all his crime stuff's fun.
Yeah.
But I think there's movies I enjoyed, but I think Dune is probably the one where I go, that is just the best of everything I saw.
Yeah. It was so good. I yeah. Okay, Mariah,
I think
what do you got?
I think it's up there for me, Dune too. But for me, I was just so glad that I liked Wicked so much.
Yes, exactly right.
I think it was just one of those ones I was like clenching and going, oh, please don't wreck this. Please, 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 please don't make like one of my favorite books and one of my favorite my favorite musical. Don't wreck it. Don't wreck this transition. And they didn't. They did great. And I'm so excited about the next part. So like for me, for all the feels, it's Wicked.
Yeah. I I think the best picture should include all the movies, but you know what they haven't included in a long time is animated movies. So I'm gonna say the best movie I saw of 2024 is Wallace and Gromit.
Man, he's really pushing for Wallace and Gromit.
Because Dune 2 was amazing, but I still, despite the fact I think it was the best picture of the best picture nominations, I don't know how any of y'all understand it without reading the book. Like I just don't.
They just did it.
Don't know how
I think the thing is we don't have to understand. I think we were like, we're cool with what they gave us.
Yeah.
And if we need to ask questions, I know some people, Seth, Sierra, that will tell me what happens.
My other not so hot take is TV awards get it right. The best TV show of last year was for sure Shogun. No questions asked. Everyone loved it. No one hated it. No problem. No one had a problem with those actors winning, with the writers winning, with the show winning. And it was popular. It was well acted. It did its research. It was really well done. But movies have not been like that since for 10 years, maybe more, since and Forrest Gump probably shouldn't have won, but since like that era, like that was the last time you had like a popular movie that could still be Best Picture. So there needs to be a reckoning where movies can be also popular. You know, the other category, we haven't talked about the animated, but the Oscars animated Best Picture noms, probably because there's just fewer animations these days. I mean, I don't actually, I can't prove that, but they are pretty much right.
I mean, compared to non.
Yeah, they get it pretty much right.
The nominations.
Mostly. Nominations.
Yeah.
And the winners aren't usually the worst, to be honest. Like some of them are like really pretty good. Because like some years you have like great movies. Like I think like Frozen came out as the same year as like monumental changing companies like identity movies came out the same year. So that category I've not burned out on yet. I feel like they did pick the best.
No, I feel like they're just so
movies.
different too. That's the nice, like it's so diverse. You're not like they just picked 3 of the same thing.
Yes, and it doesn't feel like the studios, they just pick the best movies. They don't pick just like one studio's this, and this. I mean, each per studio comes up with one. Like you obviously aren't going to put Moana 2 in there.
That's the other thing. They're not
Do you wanna
churning out
see-
multiple in
Right.
the same year either.
Do you want to see the top 10 highest grossing films of 2024?
I already know it, but go for it, buddy.
Dune.
Well, let's guess. Let's see if we can guess. You ready for the guess? Okay. So I think
Dune.
I know Moana got $1 billion. So Moana 2 got $1 billion.
Gross.
I know
it's in there.
that obviously Wicked's got to be up there.
It's up there. Yeah.
Okay. I think Inside Out also hit $1 billion. Inside Out 2. They also got
Yeah.
the
So you've
B.
gotten Inside Out 2 is number 1.
Okay.
Moana's
assume
number
Moana's
3.
number two.
Wicked's
Ooh.
number 5.
Ooh, so I need number 2 and number. Okay.
4 and 6. And
So let's look at the best.
Brutalist.
No one saw the
Brutalist is not in there.
It's not even
Aw.
for highest
close. Not even
grossing films
close.
of 2024.
There is nothing else. Oh, Dune Part 2's got to be up there then.
Yes,
So
Dune Part 2 is number 6. The
Number
only
6?
the only other Oscar nominated one was Inside Out 2, Wicked, and Dune
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah. No, that's the only one that's even close for sure. And then you had like, Gladiator 2's got to be up there.
Nope.
Oh,
We got some wild ones. They're wild.
Really?
And largely of the animated variety.
I was gonna say it's
Minions.
what's his face? James Cameron.
Oh, is it? That's not this year, was it?
Nope.
Was that this year?
No.
No, it was last year.
Oh,
that was
it
last
was.
year. Yeah.
No, but you're on to something with Minions.
It's the yes.
Despicable Me
Me
4, 5.
Yes, Despicable Me
It's
4
4.
in the number 4 slot.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Finn does say that's a pretty darn good one.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I've watched that
I
a million
like
times.
I like the 80s, 90s music.
That was.
sure.
That was 3.
No, this too. Also,
This one too. Oh, okay.
yeah. I think they bring it every time.
Every time. Okay, so we got. What do we miss? Number 2.
We're still missing number 2, which is the last
Animated movie.
no, fully-ish live action. Not that anything's fully live action anymore.
Fall Guy.
No,
Oh, is that? Okay, the Fall Guy is that top 10?
it's the only Marvel one on here.
Oh, jeez. I don't even remember what Marvel. It wasn't
Captain America? No. What? Who did it this year?
No, it was Ant-Man
Deadpool
2.
and Wolverine
Oh,
came out in
Oh,
2024.
that's so. I forgot about it already, which is hilarious.
Yeah, number 2. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
I've
fun
still
movie.
only seen the first Deadpool.
That's fine. No,
No,
Deadpool
you should-
2 is
you
good.
should watch
2's
them all.
good. The last one
I'd
is,
watch them all.
You know, no, the last
If
one is.
you watched any of the old Fox
Yes.
X-Men movies, you should watch it. And
the
or any of the
shout-outs
Fox Marvel
are
or superhero movies.
insane. No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
very
just
fun.
it's just
a
if I
cameo
can't
fest.
I want to watch
It's a cameo
superhero
fest.
movies with my kid and Deadpool's not okay.
You can't watch that
no,
one.
you can't watch
with-
that one.
no.
And it's just cameos. It's all
Right,
cameos.
right.
That's all it is. It's almost.
All right,
it's-
let me
it's
put
super
you.
good. Okay, go
Let me
for
put you out of your misery on
Thank
7
you.
through 10.
Thank you.
Mufasa the Lion King.
No one
Number 7.
saw that. Nobody saw that.
They paid for
Apparently,
it.
a lot of people saw it.
They snuck into the other
Godzilla
movie.
and Kong, The New Empire,
Didn't even know that came out this
which
year.
is dumb but kind of fun.
Okay.
Kung Fu Panda 4
Oh yeah, that doesn't.
Forgot that
surprise
came
me.
out this year. I thought that was last year.
and Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I will say the only things to go to theaters are for your kids.
For kids.
well,
and
our favorite movie critic Zach said Sonic 3 was actually way better
I
than
heard
he
it was
thought.
great. Yeah, because I heard.
Yeah,
I heard,
it's got good reviews.
Because
Yeah.
we were like, "Are you serious? Jim Carrey's playing his dad?"
No, Jim
Like,
Carrey brought it. He
no.
brought it.
And yeah,
He
apparently
came out
it
of
was good.
retirement.
It's like
for Sonic
Paddington
3.
2. Paddington 2 is like one of the best movies ever made. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So-
the first one was good.
Yeah, but the second one's like people
Second
are
one
like,
was great.
talk about it.
Third one's fine.
Yeah.
Third one people say is fine.
Yeah. So
All right. Did
So-
we do it?
we did it, but here's the thing:
There's so much.
are movies dead, guys? Are we? Is this like
No,
nailed? Like
it just wasn't the best year all around.
I
Maybe.
guess so. We just need.
Let's
to
hope it's
have-
not getting worse each year. Let's hope this is just a lull.
But it's.
There were some good movies, but
I don't know.
I think-
Last year was a lot more enjoyable.
I think
mean,
this year was
yes.
but,
I'm
and
gl-
the last year was yes and.
I'm glad Wicked was in there because it's the only thing that made the Oscars kind of watchable.
And fun.
Because I'm not even a fan of Wicked, but Dune 2 with the sandworm. Let's be real here, folks. Like it's not helping
That
us
was
out
a
here.
bad sandwich.
Not helping us out here. And even Dune 2, it's like it's a great movie, and with the crazy complicated plot that they have, they did a great job. But it's still a crazy complicated Frank Herbert.
Well, but
It's
also,
not for everybody.
I mean, also, if you're getting a third movie, that's not happening for what, a decade?
Ugh,
Is that what
for
we're looking at
reals.
this point?
And
And
Taylor
that's
Joy.
even fuzzying the timeline.
They'll do it
They
in
have
a
such
few years,
they
I'm
have
sure.
such a good cast, and the daughter. I mean, Paul's younger sister.
Anya.
I can't wait. That's such good casting.
Yeah.
But they didn't even touch
Yeah.
it in this movie, which they could have. But anyways, no.
a little bit.
Us Dune dorks are stoked. Man, and I can't wait for them to bring back. Sorry, spoiler alert, but bring back.
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa, baby. When they bring him back, it's gonna be dope. He's gonna be like
Spoilers.
Wolverine.
Nerd alert.
So if they do it, like Jason Momoa will have to come back for the next 10 books because he's in all the books. He's the only character that's like in all the books.
Duncan, is that his name?
Oh,
Yeah, Duncan Idaho.
Duncan Idaho. I didn't know this stuff, Seth. You just spoiled it for me.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And all of our audience.
Nobody listened to the end of
Sorry,
this
guys.
episode.
I should have said that, but you should have known as a spoiler when you knew you were talking about the Oscars because the Oscars spoils everything.
So, well, but the thing I will say for the Oscars, and certainly
It was
on behalf
a
of this
real
podcast,
pain. Oh, sorry.
it got us to watch a bunch of movies we wouldn't have probably normally watched, right?
Absolutely.
Which is generally a purpose of this podcast is to try and be snobbier.
Yeah.
And the Oscars is a route to do that.
I went to my first 2 movies by myself in the
There you
theater
go. There you
because of these. So there you go.
And honestly,
I also did that in 2024, but not for an Oscar nominee.
Just
Yeah.
for your birthday.
I'm gonna and I.
Oh no, well, yeah, that's true. Actually, for my birthday, I watched The First Omen,
Yeah.
which is a good horror movie, and then I watched another horror movie, Long Legs.
Yes, which
a few
got
months
great
later.
reviews, by the way. A lot of people say
Yeah,
that should have
it-
got some love.
Pat doesn't seem to
It-
feel
Oh yeah.
feelings about it.
What
It's
about?
no Silence of the Lambs, but it's
By the way, Anthony
not bad.
Hopkins got a Oscar from that movie. And he's only on screen for less than 20 minutes. That is still
But
one
it
of
was
the
great.
crazy. Oh, it's great. It's
Yeah.
still
He
one of the best
delivered
bad
though.
guys. What about the TV horror movie?
I saw the TV glow.
Yes. Should that have been a nomination, Pat? Was that better than The Substance?
It might have been a better trans story than Amelia Perez, which again, low bar maybe, but that one's a thinker. That one's a slow
okay.
one.
That's a slow one. Okay, I wasn't sure. I just heard different reviews on that one too. So
People love it,
Okay, yeah,
But-
I heard a lot of love.
and I
didn't
think
know.
it is a sort of an allegory for sort of a trans existence, but it is a weird one.
Got it. Okay, makes sense. All right, guys, we did it. We did Oscar season, and it was an adventure, and I'm kind of glad it's over. I'm just going to be honest. I'm excited to get back to some old movies. Excited to get back to some
Catch up on some shows.
classics.
Gosh, I'm not going to lie. The Oscars are such not a marker for what is the best movie of all time. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
It's almost embarrassing that this award show has little to no bearing on what of the best movies of all time are ranked, because it just
Well, we're living in the present, so you never know.
maybe it'll change.
Further reflection, some of these could be.
There's some Oscar winners that have like a less than 50% on like IMDb. Like it's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's
Over
pretty
time,
great.
they could get better.
They
They could get worse.
worse. It's true. And that's the other thing too. Like Bicycle Thieves was considered the best movie of all time. Then it didn't even make the top 50. Like it is this weird like whatever's feeling the mood. Apparently, what's that movie you like with the guy with his hand up? Mein Kampf? Is that one you like a lot? No, that's the book.
I haven't seen that one.
No, it's
The person, the place, and the thing.
no.
Classic.
We're
The noun that did the
anti-Nazi. Just for the
verb
record,
in the
we're
place?
Anti-Nazi.
Still
Anti-Nazi on this podcast.
Proudly.
Guys, any last thoughts for the Oscars? Pat, what's your last thoughts? You once said that's pretty good. Okay, Mariah, what do you got?
You didn't miss anything. If you
Thank
didn't watch
goodness
it, you didn't really
it's
miss anything.
over, is my thought.
You know what, Oscars? Sure, you don't
It's
care.
worth the effort, but oh man, is it exhausting.
Oh my gosh. Okay, dear Oscars, sure, you don't care about like the viewer. That's fine. You know what? And you don't even care about what we like. That's fine too. But at least,
Oscar's not getting an invite next
oh
year.
my goodness, just throw us a bone here. Release the movies 2 months earlier. That's all I want. I don't even care if they're movies I don't like.
Give us a
Just
chance.
give us a chance to watch the stupid movies. There should be some rules about this. My name's Seth.
Mariah.
Pat.
And this concludes our Oscar season, except we might do an animated one. We might. We'll talk about that.
Question.
We'll see. Question mark. Statement. We'll don't know. Until next year, guys.
Thanks for watching, listening,
Please subscribe.
and all that.
All that fun stuff. All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.